Thank you. Now, how many times have you been frustrated with government? And most of us interface with government through our local city halls, and what do we experience? Long lines, unreturned phone calls, endless red tape. It's so not user-friendly. But we're asking, what if things were different? What if City Hall actually became user-centered? And what if City Hall became a catalytic hub of innovation? And what if this innovation were open source for other city halls to use to improve your quality of life? Well, introducing WeHoX, the City of West Hollywood's technology and innovation program that aims to do just that, transform City Hall into an open source center of innovation.
Hello and good morning. We are Francisco Contreras and Kate Mayerson, the city's innovation team. We're the only division that reports directly to the city manager, facilitating cross-departmental collaboration and unique among innovation programs. We're trained urban planners with a love of using technology and innovative thinking to solve challenges in our civic center. West Hollywood is a small city, just 35,000 residents in under 2 square miles, really small. But our population swells on weekends and during special events like Pride and Carnival, because we are a cultural and creative capital in Los Angeles County. So we have a big impact, and recognizing that, we reached out to media, technology, business, nonprofit, design, and social impact partners in innovation salons. We asked them, what cutting-edge ideas and technologies should West Hollywood City Hall be paying attention to? Most governments talk to other old-school governments, and that doesn't get us anywhere. Early innovation salons led to the development of the Innovations Annual Report, which contained 40 initiatives with 100 ideas for how to make West Hollywood City Hall that catalytic hub of innovation.
So in order to implement those ideas, we apply agile principles, which are very common in the tech world, but very rare in government. So for example, we are constantly iterating to better our services, like launching our bike share program as a scalable pilot project. And we've also been one of the first in the nation to use Facebook Live as a community engagement tool. In addition, we established an innovation R&D fund to pay for small hardware and digital pilot projects. And we also created an X team, which is sort of a pool of tech experts to help staff with hard stuff, like coding, data analysis, and even video production and animation. So we learned that in order to implement systems change, we really needed to build staff's capacity for innovation. But instead of partnering with a traditional government training organization that really didn't espouse our open source principles, we partnered with Very Nice, which is a global design strategy consultancy that focuses specifically on social innovation. And together we created the WeHoX Innovation Academy to give staff the tools to be more creative and innovative thinkers. So the program included training in ideation, prototyping, design thinking, and specifically user experience. Because after all, if the role of government is to serve the members of its community, shouldn't the way we operate be user-centered?
With WeHoX well positioned as a leader among civic innovation programs, we do our best to share tips, tricks, best practices with others. Through innovation salons like the one pictured here, regional networks, conferences, and competitions, we're informally developing an open source model other cities can replicate. As we grow the program, we're looking for facilitators, or collaborators, and partners to develop a digital open source innovation toolkit to change governments, like Pani. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to your questions.
You have a lot of city officially folks down here. That's okay, it's good. I was interested in how do you define user, right? So the city has so many users. How do you sort of align the tools, the options of tools for innovation development with the different capacities of so many different users? What category would have this?
One of the things that we did when we sort of created our innovation task force is that we really reached out to all of the different sort of like major, opportunity sectors in our community. So we invited residents to come and join our task force. We invited people from basically they're really local, what we call the innovation economy. So people in digital tech that were working within West Hollywood. We also invited like utility companies. So basically anybody who had some sort of interest in the way that government operates, we invited them to come and participate. And a lot of the innovation salons, we invited the entire community. We also partnered with General Assembly, which is sort of like a digital online training firm, to invite sort of folks who are interested in this year to come and help us kind of develop and create new ideas.
I have a question. I'm speaking. In terms of impact, how has the staff responded? How has the city staff done their work differently based on these tools and based on these innovations?
So we just finished our Innovation Academy, and we had a really positive response to it. There were little things like some of those tech principles, like having stand-up meetings, a daily stand-up, meeting with your team every morning, talking about what's on the plate for that day. That's not something that, governments are used to maybe your weekly or monthly check-in with your manager. So teams have begun doing that. It's these little things that are helping collaboration and communication, specifically amongst staff and their managers, that people are beginning to implement. And we're just now in talks about what the next phase of that academy looks like. We got a lot of feedback that it would be great to not just teach staff these principles, but also teach managers and directors about some of these new and innovative ways of being more efficient and more transparent.
So you talk a little bit about the challenge of bringing kind of the private sector into working with the public sector, because often when we try to align kind of the mutual goals and identify how we actually adopt these practices, not all these kind of private sector approaches actually work within the public sector. So it's a very different kind of place to work. So you can talk about how you have reconciled those differences.
Sure. So a little bit, we specifically reached out to folks who were not in government because we wanted to get sort of like new and creative ideas from the people who are not in the sphere. Some city departments didn't necessarily like that. Some appreciated that we were doing something outside of the box. But I think one of the things that we really tried hard to was to create these give the folks who were developing the ideas, helping us with the ideas, like the background, the information, like these are the challenges that we're trying to solve. And we just kind of like tap into their creative potential to help us solve some of that. And we reached into folks who were anchored in our community, and most of the people we approached were gladly joined. Like we were surprised at how much enthusiasm we got from the participants, that they wanted to participate. They were actually shocked that government was approaching them, that City Hall was approaching them. They're like, we'd love to help you, which was actually really surprising for us. And we've started actually to continue with those relationships. And we've, now they help sponsor some of our events, or they come to a lot more of our innovation salons. So it's been a good relationship.
Thank you.